MrBoo.
Hey everybody, it is I, MrBoo, the Entertainment Guru, MrBoo, Entertainment Guru, right here on YouTube, and today we're talking Popeye the Sailor. Wait, not that man. No, not the sailor. Yeah, this guy, this ugly mug right here, Popeye the Slayer Man. Yeah, you all heard me right. This is, I finally watched it, Popeye the Slayer Man, and, yeah, you can't make this stuff up. This is MrBoo, Entertainment Guru, with a B-film movie review, so let's pop that can open with one hand and slam it down, shall we? First up, let's talk plot. That's right, this horror version of the old Sailor Man cartoons is centered around and primarily set inside of an old canning factory down by the docks of a small town. The factory, about 10 years prior to when this movie takes place in its current timeline, had suffered a shutdown due to a whistleblower that had uncovered and told the news about a bacteria outbreak that was contaminating the spinach product they were canning. Because if not spinach, then, well, how could it be a Popeye movie, right? Yeah. So, anyway, the town and company had covered this all up until the whistleblower blew the whistle. And guess what? After the whistle was blown, she vanished. But the company, then being outed, it was too late and they had to close their doors for good. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything just in case on who's who. The whistleblower does play a part in one of the subplots of the story of what's now going on at the factory and why. But the other part of the plot, well, it tells of a ghostly sailor man that stalks the docks in its canning factory. And, well, he don't take too kindly to visitors, well, knocking on his door. And in true horror fashion, there will be knocking on that door because hearing the tales of this ghostly sailor man through their lives, a bunch of college students, a group of friends, get together and they want to make a college documentary for class on the canning factory and on the Sailor Man mythos before the place is sold off and demolished. And get this, just like always, the place is to be turned into condos. I mean, this is no joke. Condos. It's always condos. So they get there and they start doing the documentary and they find out the truth about this sailor or Slayer Man the hard way. And, well, so do some unexpected others along the way, such as a jealous boyfriend and his posse of deviants, a saleswoman and a security guard, as well as the owner of the closed-up shop. Now, while this movie goes on, we will also find out why Popeye is there and how he is what he is. And he is what he is because of radioactive, bacteria-contaminated spinach that he's been living on. So, yeah, it's a bacteria outbreak, but no joke. This stuff glows, and it supposedly turned this man into this man. So again, spoiler free on why Popeye is even roaming the factory to begin with, and how he's so monstrous. Well, again, that was the spinach. Anyway, it has an okay plot with an okay subplot and a twist I saw coming easier than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. But with all that said, all around, it was decent B-film storytelling. Now, along with some good B-film storytelling, you need some decent to good B-film actors to help progress and tell that story, right? You're about half right, but you're about half wrong. See, my thoughts on the acting here are kind of split down the middle, which, unfortunately, no one who got unalived got split down the middle, but the acting, I'm going to go ahead and say 50% of it was okay to good, and 50% of it was bad to downright ugly. So on the acting, yeah, it's B-film acting. It is what it is, but for me, it is 50-50. You had some good and some okay characters being played by some okay actors, and you had some bad and downright ugly characters being portrayed by, well, bad and terrible B-film actors as well. So 50-50 on the acting. Could have been worse. Probably should have been worse. It's alright for what it is, and again, it is what it is. Now that the story and the actors in said story are out of the way, we can go ahead and get to the meat of the film, if you will. As it is a Slayer slasher flick, we are talking kill count and effects, as in these types of movies, they really do go hand in hand. So, like Popeye on a good old can of bacterial-filled radioactive glowing spinach, let's dig in. So, as I roll some good old censored blood gore and fun, we got a kill count of 10 on this one. And the set pieces, well, they were actually good. A college and the inside of an actual factory, it really did the trick. The factory was very dark, dingy, full of steel, and it also acted as a maze for those unfamiliar with the area. The scenes where, those scenes, the ones depicting the unalivings, though they're censored now, they weren't for me. And also for me, they weren't that bad either. They were practical, and they fit the theme of a jacked up, hulked out sailor man. They did exactly what they did with their budget. They did what they intended to, and they didn't try to overstep like some B-film creators do. For example, hey, I got $5 in my pocket. Hey, let's go make a movie. I mean, seriously, some B-film CGI looks like it was $2.50, and the rest of the movie was that other $2.50. And with that said, Popeye himself, okay, the body and the suit looked great. But, that face. It was exactly like someone saying, ooh, yeah, I got 5 on it, and then throwing $5 down at the nearest black alley sweatshop that makes studio effects. So effects, yeah, they were decent. They were actually really decent for what this film was. But Popeye, although his design was well made, it was a good design, wasn't really well executed on film. The last thing I feel I need to mention is pacing, as I recently covered In a Violent Nature, and well, that movie's pacing was slower than frozen molasses. But the pacing in Slayer Man is good from the start, as it feels and flows just like an 80s slasher film. There's a bit of comedy and some Popeye Easter eggs sprinkled in while still staying serious and not too campy. That helped it along tremendously. But towards the end, it slows down just a bit, and this could take away from the rest of the film, as the climax slows almost to a stop. And who wants to have a bad climax? Am I right? So, now with all of that said, and all of that gone over, my MrBoo Entertainment Guru review rating? Yeah, it sits at a solid 3. I'm going to give Popeye the Slayer Man a 3 out of 5. A solid and sturdy 3, and here's why. It did have decent pacing up until the ending, and then it kind of picked up a bit, but then it was over. It did have some okay acting for the most part, and it did have some okay effects. And yeah, hey, the story was kind of unique in a way, but the subplots, one of them had a twist that was, I could see that thing coming from a mile away. All in all, it had a solid 3 out of 5, but don't let me sway you. If you want to catch Popeye the Slayer Man and give it a chance, it can be found on the Temu version of all streaming services, Tubi. So, Tubi, following the format of the rest of my videos, we've gotten to that point where I must ask for a like, a subscribe, and a ring of that notification bell if you like what I do here on YouTube and would like to support the channel, that is. And until next time, I'm MrBoo, Entertainment Guru, and I will be bringing you another review because, yeah, until next time, I'm going to be out watching, also on Tubi, Popeye's Revenge. Yeah, there's more of them. Anyway, I've been MrBoo, Entertainment Guru, and I am out.